We're just sat kind of casually right here. My name's Matt Smith. I'm the senior editor here at Engadget. I am a Brit. I am joined today by
Dana Wollman, managing editor of Engadget. I am not a Brit.
What?
Yes.
Excellent. And
I'm Dan Cooper, the best senior editor, senior of seniors editor,
Ooh.
and I am a Brit, as if the accent didn't give it away.
but we can't call this a Brit sandwich because we're the bread.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're just going to be talking kind of cash. We're just going to be I'm wearing my casual turtleneck just to improve. Wow, we're going totes cash now. And we'll be talking about our editor's choices, what we've seen so far at CES, and what we're hoping you guys out there will look and take a look at and touch and try yourself at this year's CES. So, Dan, I'd like you to start us off. What have you seen?
I've seen not very much. I've been locked in a room for most of it. But I've seen lots of exciting wearables. 2016 CES has been wearable-tastic. I was kind of expecting it not to be very wearable-tastic, but
because it was kind of wearable-tastic last year.
It was, and I had a feeling that because there was so much automotive stuff coming, car stuff, that actually wearables were going to take a back seat. But no, it's wearables are here to stay, baby.
And for example?
So Fitbit have got a new one that's quite snazzy. Intel yesterday announced that they're going to make another smartwatch with New Balance.
Well, that's the thing. Intel just kind of barreled us with lots and lots of wearables. They've teamed up with a lot of sports companies. One very cool thing I just tried, literally, before I came on stage here, was these paintball goggles that you wear, and it has a HUD display. So
love those.
Yeah. So alongside the paintball gun, you'll have a little embedded technology inside your goggles, and they'll show you a map of your paintball arena. They'll show you both your allies, and you can tag your enemies. So you're pretty much a living video game.
You can always count on Intel to do some really strange stuff at CES.
Yeah.
There's the paintball display, but they also have the connected snowboard, which you
Connected
wrote
snowboard,
about.
yeah.
You can never quite predict what Intel specifically is going to do. Always some weird stuff.
And I think they also kind of try to force a theme as well. They try to kind of define CES every year. And because it's Intel, there's Intel inside so many things. They're trying to make this move away from PCs into more mobile tech. And we don't mean phones, we're meaning wearables and the Internet of Things. So they always come with such a random bag of tricks.
Can I just ask about the paintball thing?
Right.
You know how they say that paintball is simulated war and war is hell? Does that mean that simulated war is simulated hell?
I'm going to say yes, because the bright lights aren't helping me concentrate.
Fair enough.
Okay. And now tell us about this fancy bangle you saw.
So, the thing that I'm quite taken with, it's a fancy fashion bangle, and the idea is it's a piece of costume jewelry, I guess aimed towards women, but I won't judge. And it's designed as a sort of personal attack alarm, and what it does is it doesn't look like a device, it looks like a piece of jewelry. And then, should you run into trouble late at night or something, you tap it, and then it sends your GPS location and an SOS message to your friends, or if you pay a subscription, then it can kind of contact security or the police, which I think it's a really interesting concept, and I like the fact that a company's tackling that at CES.
It's not cheap. What was it? $300?
$300, yeah.
But also, it doesn't look like a personal security alarm at all.
No, it looks like a bit of costume jewelry.
Yeah.
Costume jewelry.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on jewelry. I might be wrong.
No, which is to say, it's costume jewelry, but not in the best way.
Okay.
Woman speaking here. It's an improvement. It's more stylish than some other wearables we've seen. I think that there's still a lot of work to be done in terms of making these devices appealing to women, and I think that's why we need more women in tech. I would love to see more devices like that made by women for women.
Or made by women for everyone, because it's
Or for everyone, yeah.
But it's nice. What I guess the next stage on will be to just disguise this in anything. So like, for instance, it will be, you know, a portable sensor and you can just slide it into any other piece of jewelry.
I mean, there's nothing stopping it being in different form factors, maybe lighter form factors that don't look like costume jewelry?
Not at all, because as they describe it, the brains are separate from the jewelry part of it. So there is a removable module that presumably you could put into other kinds of devices, and even newer bracelets.
I mean, you could put it into Dan's glasses. I mean, where on Dan's body would you like to put a personal attack alarm? Dana?
Oh gosh.
So many places. Okay, we'll move on.
So many choices.
Yeah. Dana, what's been your pick of CES so far?
Oh gosh. Where to start, right?
Yeah, right.
Seeing so much, I'll say this. I've been surprised by the sheer number of laptops that I've seen. For all this talk that we're in a post-PC world,
Right, yeah.
still a whole lot of notebooks out there. And the theme seems to be that they're getting ever thinner and lighter.
Which isn't a bad thing at all.
You know, it depends who you ask. I mean, they're really impressive to hold, even for, you know, a seasoned old grump like me. But I think it does beg the question of just to what extent do we really need devices that thin and light?
How thin do you really want?
Especially when the battery life might get compromised.
And did you see this Samsung 2-in-1 yourself?
Seeing it today.
Oh, cool.
Our colleague Chris saw it in person.
Our senior mobile editor, Chris
Yes.
Velasco, was the one poking and touching this. This is a 2-in-1
That's
Windows
the Surface
tablet.
competitor that manages to be even lighter than the Surface Pro 4.
Jesus.
But oh my God, so many Surface competitors at this show.
That's the new
a little
trend.
dizzying.
It's not that there's lots of, well, there is still lots of laptops, but there's also been a lot of these Surface companion-esque devices.
And it's interesting, I mean, especially as we at Engadget sit down to talk about Best of CES winners, we're supposed to be thinking about innovation. You do see a lot of products like this that seem to be biting off something that was at one point really original.
Once innovative. And
back in 2012.
And also, one thing that everyone didn't really jump on board when it first came out. I mean, I can remember when the first Surface came out, not so many people were kind of thrilled by the idea of this kind of convergence device.
Oh my God, it's a tablet with a keyboard. Woo! But it has taken time to...
Senior editor Dan Cooper there.
Yes.
But no, it's become a thing now. But it's taken 4 generations of the device before it has become a thing.
Yeah. And was there a particular slimlined laptop that stood out so far?
There were a few. So Lenovo is doing it really well this year. They've got models for both consumers and for business, both impressively thin and light, all the more so because they managed to pack in touchscreens. Usually if a company wants to make a really thin laptop, they have to get rid of the touchscreen, which you kind of need or want on Windows 10.
With Windows 10, yeah.
That's what Samsung did to make its new laptop that thin, which I don't want to say it's cheating, but it's kind of cheating.
I mean, Dana, you kind of flip between Macs and Windows, right? What's your current kind of main?
Macs for myself, but Windows all the time for testing. So, in real life, ambidextrous.
Right.
Yeah.
And how about you, Daniel?
So I've got Windows 8 on my Mac Pro because I'm so sad.
Just to be confusing.
Yeah, just to be that guy. I am that guy. Hey everyone, I'm that guy. But I flip between, mostly for Steam.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
And me, I'm a Mac boy now. Ever since I got my first MacBook Air, I've just found the design so ridiculous. It's so thin. I just trust it so much. It doesn't crash.
To the viewers at home, this isn't all of us. We actually have many Windows users.
This is very true, and especially at CES.
Actually, out there.
The current Engadget trailer this year, Engadget 2016, has more Windows users than we've had in quite a few years, I'd say.
Or I think we've always had Windows users. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's people like Richard Lawler, and you can't trust him.
No, grouchy Terrence O'Brien is a ThinkPad user whose ThinkPad is in the shop.
Grouchy managing editor Terrence O'Brien does have a Windows machine. This is true.
Mm-hmm.
And now we'll go on to me. And what's been good for me is, and now a few of you have probably seen this. This was yesterday, right at the end of the day, probably while you were nursing that martini. It was the Intel live press event. And as we kind of prefaced before, Intel brought in so many insane little ideas and little trinkets and little collaborative efforts with all these different companies. But when the Intel CEO took to stage, he took to stage on a robot Segway. There we go. Such good timing. I love these guys. So this is...
How much rehearsal do you think went into that?
I know. How many hours did he balance on a Segway to effortlessly glide on stage?
Maybe he's just got game. Maybe he is just that fly. He's like a 55-year-old man.
I mean,
a
we've
tech
all seen
executive.
Mike Tyson going splat recently on the hoverboard.
Yeah, well, we've
right?
all seen many a person go splat on a Segway.
Yeah, so Brian Krzanich could have gone splat, but didn't.
Yeah. And even funnier, I think it was I think he's who he's shaking hands with now, the boss man of CES. Oh, what?
Gary Shapiro.
Gary Shapiro.
Yes, Mr. Gary
Also,
Shapiro.
Mr. Ninja Innovation himself.
Mr. Ninja Innovation himself
Yes.
also took to the Segway to take off stage. Now, Segways are Segways, and we've seen hoverboards. Now, what makes this one more interesting is not only is it an official Segway, it's made by Segway, but it's also transforms into a beautiful robot with a little face and smiley eyes. And you know I love robots.
You
So
do love robots.
why wouldn't you want a Segway to be a robot?
Why not?
Why?
Because again,
Why?
Intel is king of the weird stuff
Yeah,
at CES.
again.
Actually, there's only one thing I would want more than that, and that's a Segway with the voice of Kit from Knight Rider. I mean,
Which brings us on very quickly to our last section. We've literally run out of time. We have 2 minutes left, so
Oh,
we just
no.
want to do one bad thing. Give me one bad thing.
Okay, do you want me to start?
We have 2 minutes, so you
Okay,
have to
so
start finish.
lots of gadgets this year telling you stuff that you should already know. So like Level has produced this device. You breathe into it. It tells you whether you're burning fat.
Right.
You don't need to that instant gratification if you're burning fat or not doesn't really help you with a weight loss plan.
I've also seen a smart sensor for inside refrigerators, which follows the same logic.
Yeah.
It's like a smart sensor that you put tomato ketchup or milk on. But most of these things are miraculously see-through. So you know when you run out of ketchup. You know when
if you eat
run
my
out.
burrito, I want to know. Catch you in
That's
the
your
act.
own personal quirk.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we've already run out of time. Thank you very much for watching, both online and people sat here. I think someone's eating a burrito back there.
Yes.
And I want a burrito now. So thanks for watching. We'll be having more Editor's Choices tomorrow. But stay tuned. We'll have more Engadget after the break. Thank you.